All right. Bye. How are we going before we drive on the Audi RS5? Perfect. You know, RS5, the carbon black edition, 20-inch rims. Good morning. Right, stock setup. However, we just did a stage 1 upgrade via 034 Motorsports. Alright, so alright, so this is my RS5, and this is the start of a hopefully a nice series of vlogs, video logs. Alright, Audi RS5 2022 Sportback, glacier white, black edition. This car is in Trinidad Tobago. We are located in the Caribbean, very close to Venezuela, and we'll discuss Trinidad Tobago at another time. Today we're gonna take a little drive to work. I am going to work a little bit late today, and we're just gonna have a conversation. So without any further ado, let me just disconnect this, see if I can connect, and there we go. Beautiful. Car's already been started. Usual routine is, well, first of all, let me just introduce myself. So I'm Arvind. I'm a business owner, IT. Been doing IT work for the past maybe 28 years. And I've been a business owner out of the 28 years for the past 18, going on 19 years. I've started from just myself as a an engineer doing gigs, for want of a better word, to fairly well-established small business. I run a team around 14-15 persons, give or take, according to the time of the year. And what we do is Cisco work. So we do phone systems, but primarily a lot of design work, implementation, documentation for new technologies, niche technologies that are coming out in the market that maybe a lot of vendors may not want to touch. What we do is take our hard-earned money, reinvest in technology, train ourselves, get certified, train the engineers, and we have a go-to-market strategy, and we do it as fast as possible. So that's a little bit about myself. Right. And that's the first kick down. This vehicle is amazing. So I came back from came out of a Audi A5 S-Line, beautiful 2-liter vehicle, and full quattro. I did put an ABT module in it. Dyno at 306 horsepower. I believe that's to the crank, not to the wheel, right? I stand to be corrected. Somebody actually purchased it recently, and if you look here, you'll see her. Yep, look, she's in the garage there. So that person really loved the vehicle and was interested in buying it. So I bought this RS5 from the UK myself, brought it down, and tried to learn a lot about it before sending it to anything including service. A little bit about the car, as I said. Bullocks resonator delete was the first thing we did, and second thing was the wheel spacers I bought. So those were the first two mods that I did. After that mod, I went straight to the engine and did a little bit of a stage 1 upgrade. So, you know, it was such an interesting thing to be able to figure out which company to go with. I even had challenges, to be honest with you, trying to figure out what kind of oil to put in the RS5. Yeah, I get that the manual had this, but we're not in a temperate country. We're also, we have different engine fuel in, sorry, and it was a little difficult to even get onto the Audi forums to get the correct answer. But that's for another conversation. So looking at stage 1, we had a few options, right? Now, why did I want to do stage 1? I mean, you got an RS5, you have to at least dabble. It's not just a stock car. It comes amazing from stock, right? 440 horsepower, but beyond that, this thing could crank out 5, maybe even 6 if you'd like. This is my daily driver, so I don't like. I want to at least do a little bit of tune, and as she gets a little older, you know, we could take a little more risk. So the options: 1, we had a Revo. Now the company that services this vehicle is Shift Performance. Amazing guys. The owner is an amazing younger guy, very intelligent, real good customer service. I think that's why I stayed. Amazing customer service. This guy will do anything for you. But he is a Revo reseller. Now, everybody has their pros and the cons, right? But my criteria really was, I'd love to do this myself, of course with some level of safety. I'd like to be able to have the modules to take a look at the engine, take a look at you know, certain issues that might be coming up, you know, monitor, do logs, etc. Now, what I saw with Revo is it is dealer, so you need to be able to be a dealer to implement it. Didn't like that too much. That also then eliminated ABT. So if you recall, I had ABT on my, well, not if you recall, sorry, I mentioned briefly that I had an ABT module on my older A5. Very expensive for what it does. So checking out ABT on this one, it didn't make sense. Both vendors didn't have great presence on the internet either, in my opinion. You know, you're looking for people that could support you in the event of any issues, give you a little bit of feedback, talk to them. So the after sales support and care is really something I was interested in. So I jumped to another option. Let me take a look and see if there's a local tuner that I know. Maybe the local tuner can do this. He offered to be able to do a custom tune. Lo and behold, we went, and he couldn't. So discovery number 1, the ECU and the TCU are locked by Audi. So anybody that wants to interfere or flash or, you know, do anything custom can't. Interesting, right? So the dilemma was, wait, so if it's locked, then nobody could offer that service. So maybe they're offering a piggyback, you know, or some kind of additional item. And what I was end up able to check is, of course, IE Engineering and 034 Motorsports. Now I chose 034 Motorsports, and I'll explain why. IE Engineering, I'm sorry to say, there was too much negative reviews, in my opinion. based on my research. I have not, nor did I even investigate contacting them to query, but there seem to be a few issues surrounding engine failure. Now, I want to jump into engine failure a little bit. The Audi RS5s 2017, 2018, 2019 mid, thereabouts, they have had some engine failures when it comes to the rocker arms. So there's a technical services bulletin coming out for the with respect to the bearings on the rocker arms for the RS5 that failed. Luckily for us, our bearings are upgraded, so older model 2019 and above, though, that problem was sorted out. So, you know, it could be the engine failures were not actually IE, but those rocker arm failures. That being said, we didn't get any reports from 034, so for me that was a safer bet. I also love 034's ability to communicate quickly. The website was really nice, simple, nice, and they had a really nice Q&A on YouTube, and I love that consistency. You could have asked them anything, and you know, all things considered, they will be able to respond to you on the chat. Love that. No other vendor was doing that type of interaction for their potential clients. So I ordered the stage 1 kit. Now we are at 91 octane gas in Trinidad Tobago, and I would also say it's not 100% reliable. So one of the things I need to be careful of is, even if I upgrade, is my, you know, gas able to support. Just lower the air conditioning a little bit. You wouldn't be able to hear the pops, but, or you might, not too sure, but it sounds amazing. Yeah, so you know, we did the 034 stage 1, and I purchased a kit, waited a little bit, nothing crazy, probably 2 weeks, and flashed the vehicle in a matter of 10 minutes. Now, some things to note. They were able to unlock the ECU. Very important. As I mentioned, Audi had it locked, right? But nobody has the TCU unlocked, including 034. But, you know, think of it logically. If you have a higher revving, more power engine, and the transmission isn't adapted to it, it could cause some serious havoc, right? So my concern was, okay, that's brilliant, I'll pull some nice horsepower, but what happened in the long term, right? This is my daily driver. I'm here to be able to drag race. So what I ended up doing is, of course, just re-verifying with the 034 team. You have to pull some logs from my ODB 11, which is another great tool, and make sure that our serial numbers matched up, etc, etc. At the end of the day, the TCU had a patch file, not flash, a patch file, to be able to adjust accordingly. Now I don't know the details, however I trusted that 034 would have staked their reputation on it. So I went ahead. So what we did was we flashed the ECU and patched the TCU. That's what we got. Moving from 440, non-dynoed, so guys, I didn't dyno the vehicle, but 440 to, I believe, 484 horsepower, and it goes on a dime. The delay on the turbo lag isn't as bad. There is still a delay. Here are the pops, right? So you have about 6-7 pops now versus the default 4-3, right? Yeah, so you get much better throttle response for sure. There is a little bit of a lag, as I said, but the car kicks crazy. You know, it kicks really nice. So we're gonna we're gonna chat a little bit about what we want to do with the vehicle, short term and long term, and hopefully I'll be able to make some more video logs, you know, around the RS5. And my intent is to expand this to, I guess, my life, what we do, good and bad, a lot of lessons learned, maybe help the younger generation improve their ability to have a better outlook on life long term. That's the final intent for these things. So just bear with me. It might be an RS5 vlog for now, but it'll hopefully change into something more you know, fruitful.